come to your ears in like 2 minutes time or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how delayed the stream is at the moment, but it has certainly been run some issues. We are well and truly aware of it, and what we can actually do about it, I'm entirely sure. We've been looking at the text and trying to figure it all out, as the Soraka blue side ban is going to come in this time for Griffin.
Yeah, they're going to deny the red side as well from Cuz. As you can see, Griffin are reluctant to take Soraka first, so they ban it on blue side. T1 going to take away Ornn and Aphelios. That's going to be the same for pretty much every game here on Gen 3. You'd have to imagine. As now Set gets taken away.
Senna, going to be the last ban, was banned first by T1 when they were on the blue side. The final ban on the red side now. I like the Ornn ban, as Griffin are going to take away the Olaf. T1 could just lock Ezreal Yuumi right here. They would like to. Can deny that Yuumi and Olaf synergy from Griffin. Wouldn't mind it.
Ezreal would be a nice champion to to get your 1,000 kills on as well. Do a little bit of showing off.
Yep.
If he has a good game, which we can kind of predict that he will. As I think Yuumi is never mind.
Okay.
Let's just pretend I didn't start to say absolutely. Maybe I was going to say absolutely not get picked. Still could be picked here.
Yeah, Trundle Yuumi could be just locked in for T1 if they would like to, but wanting to get the MF priority out of the way looks to be the option here. MF will be locked in. And now it's Griffin's turn. Do they want to lock down the Ezreal Yuumi themselves? They could do that, they would like to.
MF sitting at just about a 50% win ratio. See just how many times she was picked. 55 is an incredibly high number.
Oh, yeah.
Might actually be most picked.
All right, going back to the Kalista and the Zoe. This is the same comp, and it didn't work the first time. See whether it's going to work the second time, because they can lock away Yuumi if they want to right now, ban the Volibear as the response. And they'd be pretty smooth sailing. I don't really like the Kalista Zoe lock-in, to be honest.
Yeah, it is a bit weird, especially when you don't pick your support with the Kalista. I mean, so many times there you would see like Kalista Thresh or even Kalista Volibear to try to snipe out a pick early, but they just decide not to, which makes it easier for T1 to ban out a bunch of champions that can be good with the Kalista. They get Faker back onto the LeBlanc, which is quite scary. LeBlanc now 6-0. Faker probably has at least 2 of those wins.
And it was actually Olaf, Zoe, and Kalista picked the first round for Griffin the first time. So it's exactly the same. As far as the picks, it was Thresh and Volibear that were both banned by T1 as port options to go alongside the Kalista. The Taric left a little bit to be desired. Lucian is going to hit the bench. Lucian, Senna, and Thresh, all 3 of them banned away this game. Buff's going to be excited about that one. As see what the final ban is here for T1. Could just be the Volibear, could be the Taric. As I'd probably ban the Volibear and pick the Yuumi if it was me. We'll see what Coach Kim decides. It is to be the Volibear.
Volibear ticking down, as it's a strange world to see Volibear banned, but in this specific spot twice in a row, it does make sense with the Kalista single picks.
Wow. Renekton banned. So now T1 can walk into a very easy Yuumi lock-in if they would like to. You can see Effort being very vocal over here. He has certainly stepped up as a voice on the team. And they're going to pick away the Taric. Okay.
Thinking about it.
Very interesting. The Taric works with the Trundle as well as it does with the Olaf at the same time, but now Griffin will have to change up their lineup. Remember last time it was Taric and Aatrox picked in this spot. Taric no longer available. And look, you're not going to pick Yuumi with Kalista. Fate's calling Yuumi into your opponent is not what you want to be doing. So we
sounds
don't need
like
to worry
a good
about that.
pick.
Yeah.
If your AD carry picks Kalista, just pick Yuumi.
Oh,
or maybe you can be thrown and then you can hop back.
You can do that, yeah. Because remember,
still
range champions
seems
who
really
get thrown
bad.
get to bounce out to their attack range as well, which is why we saw some Jenna Kalistas being played and things like that. Irove, I'll hop on to what Ted was looking at, is that's a support Rumble as an opportunity here, and they are going to block in the Nautilus, so never mind.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of head fakes pick fakes from the teams where they switch at the last moment. T1 says, hey, Rumble, that's a good idea. Maybe we'll pick up for ourselves.
Could do it. So Cannon wants to take towards the Mordekaiser on the top side of the map. That's what we're looking at the moment. 5 seconds to go. As our Gangplank is going to be taken away.
This is a pick that LS has talked about a lot, the Gangplank.
Yeah.
Especially into the Mordekaiser, I believe. But just in general, if you feel like you have a lane that you can survive early on, just sit up there and scale. And they pick it on the 5th pick on the red side, so they get to see the entire composition, and they say, yep, this seems like a good spot for Gangplank. Doesn't get picked very often.
And I believe the stream is back, so welcome back, guys. Hi. I think it's working. Is it working?
Really?
Maybe not. No, never mind.
No.
Absolutely not.
Looks like they're still watching the
analyst
desk.
When we're about to get into the game.
That was like 15 minutes ago.
A little bit of a disaster. Of course, the LCK Korea stream is still working, which is why we see a few of you over there. So I feel like I am talking into the void just a little bit right now.
Well, yeah.
Oh, dear.
That happens from time to time.
It does.
As we take a look at this composition, a lot of what feels like comfort picks again. You were talking about this, the exact same first 3 picks. On the side of Griffin, and Faker once again on the LeBlanc.
Yeah, wanting another shot at that MVP. And we are going to the ship today.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely going to the ship. Miss Fortune, absolutely going to the ship, as well as Gangplank, who just calls upon the ship to rain hell down on his opponents.
Absolutely.
Brilliant stuff here as we're getting prepared to get onto the rift. You guys aren't, because you guys are in the past, but we are. We are getting to the ship, getting to the rift, and seeing whether T1 can get this swift 2-0 against Griffin. And here we are. You're not. We are.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Future you is here.
Yep. But hopefully the stream will get fixed up. Hopefully when you hear me say this, the stream is fixed. As we're probably like,
hello.
If we do restart the stream, it's likely that this entire conversation that we're having right now
Didn't exist. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Take a look at the kills here. 999 after that last game. Picked up 8 kills.
Faker's almost up 1,000 kills.
Yeah.
My
He's getting
God.
really close.
And he's 300 ahead of the second highest, which is Prey, who no longer plays. Bang also no longer here. Score's retired. And Faker's like just eclipsing everyone. That is insane.
Insane in the membrane.
Yeah. We've got a bit of a 5-man invade here from Griffin.
Look at T1 reading this. They say, yeah, you're probably going to go for an invade. Let go for the re-invade.
Yep. Faker's going to find Yugal. Kanna's over here as well. Sword very late to this fight as we do have the engagement. Iroh does have Aftershock, so he's going to use that, but has to flash to get out of the way. The Obliterate lands onto Effort. But Sword probably doesn't want that. He probably wanted the Death's Grasp as T1 trying to escape from this one. Double flashes immediately. And Griffin do get more out of that one than was attained by T1. And they got 1 flash out of Iroh. And Teddy holds on to his flash because and Effort both without theirs, and they lose their blue buff also. I was going back to his jungle, but he will be well and truly behind as far as that tempo.
About 8 years behind.
Yep.
Maybe about as behind as our stream is behind us.
Yep, potentially.
It's possible.
Still, I'm still worried that this whole portion of our work is just going to go into the ether.
There's a chance.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
What if this is our best work? And it's never seen.
We should say something to make it not our best work.
Yeah, okay.
I like turtles.
Rumpelstiltskin.
No, that was great. That doesn't count.
That's frustrating. Okay,
You're just so good at casting that you actually can't do a bad cast, no matter how hard you try.
Oh, dear. YouTube LCK has no lag? That'd be cool. Maybe we could check out the YouTube. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you can hear this conversation, thank you.
Yes.
For appreciating us. The work that we're doing that is not going into the ether.
Griffin went for a really fast push in mid and rotation into the bot side. They're being extremely proactive and aggressive in this game, which I do like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they lost that last game, but like, okay, now we need to have a real change, and we gotta really take it to them in this next game. They're actually doing it.
Yeah, well, this is proactivity at its finest. First turret plate going down for Griffin. Do invest 4 people, so you can see Faker in this mid lane able to get this shot working. UCal is behind by half of what Faker's been able to put together, but Teddy is being crushed in this lane right now. Just needs 1 kill, guys. Viper and Iroh definitely do not want to give it to him. He's still not in the lane. My goodness.
Yeah, this is a kind of a weird strat where you stay down for that long to deny the AD carry this much CS. I mean, he's down 21 CS at 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
UCal took a little hit, of course, but it's not nearly as big as what Teddy's experiencing, and it can cause huge waves for the bottom lane as well, because as you can see, now they're down to a level apiece, and they can get near the wave, even when Tarzan and UCal are not there. So, a very interesting early strategy that I haven't really seen too much of.
I really like it. Cannon creep is going to go begging, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Still sitting on 4 CS, 33 to 4. 30 CS in the lead, 5 minutes is ludicrous. As yeah, Viper and Faker both farming alongside one another, but yeah, Teddy is struggling big. All right, we're to 7, boys. Nelly, he almost doubled his CS.
Wow. Just like that.
That's incredible.
And, I mean, this lane is just a disaster now. UCal can always return, as can Tarzan.
And that's what they're going to do. Rotating all the way down here. There is vision available. The Griffin are going to spot it. Not going to be able to clear that one out, though. They did use it a little bit too early. As now caught underneath the turret. First blood will go over to Viper. It's a very different Griffin. We asked to see them wake up, and they most certainly have so far in this early game. This is obliteration.
Yeah, this is really interesting to watch, actually. Just the way they were able to essentially shut down 100% the enemy bottom lane and basically take not too much in terms of damage themselves outside of, you know, a CS lead for Faker in the mid lane. But you're basically taking 2 champions out of the game.
Yep. And one of them's Teddy, you know? Like, yeah. SKT rely on him. He does about 34% of his team's damage on average per game. You generally need Teddy to perform. But Cannon's been absolutely untouched up here. As I say that, he gets obliterated, but that's okay. And now we'll have a look at this one again. Great hook from Iroh. Tanks up the turret, utilizing his aftershock, and then walk on out. Pretty clean. As finally, Teddy's actually allowed to get some sort of farm. But Viper comes back with Berserker's Greaves and a Vampiric Scepter. And this lane is only going to continue to get worse for T1.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's not just like a temporary zoning underneath the turret. It's the zoning plus it destroys the lane for the rest of it. Yeah, for Teddy and Everett. And they're going to be stuck down there. This also means that Griffin should have really nice dragon control. It should be their Infernal Drake first whenever they do decide to take it. Looks like Olaf's going for the Raptors first.
Yeah, like Cuz just wants to help shove this wave out. Will collect some extra experience for himself. That's only going to mean that Teddy and Effort are even further behind. He's not at level 5 just yet, and Viper is already hit that mark, heading towards his level 6. It's Cuz moving on, wandering over the Rift Scuttle vision. You know exactly where he is. Trouble Bubble lands onto Faker. Battlestar will do the extra damage. Tarzan looking for Faker right now, but that is the one. Sneaky Faker.
That was a nice little play.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to blow flash.
No.
Just like that, he actually used the Blanc passive really well. We don't see that very often. Generally, it's just like a half a second of invisibility, and that's about it. And, wow, really nice play out of Faker. He's going to be extremely important in this game because his bottom lane doesn't exist.
Yep, as is Canna. Canna's got that cull. Picked that one up alongside his Sheen, and he's 10 CS in the lead. So the gangplank is working out, but it's whether they can save this bottom lane that's the big question. First Drake will be the Infernal, and that's going to be taken based on Griffin's incredible lead as far as pressure on the bottom side of the map. You were mentioning Drake Control. Well, that is going to continue as experience-wise, yeah, Effort and Teddy are really far behind, but Faker and Canna are at least very far ahead in their respective lanes. Almost over to level 8 before anyone else.
And you tell that T1 was taken aback and taken by surprise by the strategy. They're finally going to begin sending some people down to try to help out. They sent the Trundle down. Now Faker went for a little roam. Eventually returned back to the mid lane. But they have to do stuff like this if they actually want to have some semblance of an 80 carry. Otherwise, you're essentially just relying on what could be a 4v5.
Well, Faker just going to be cleaning up minions in the mid lane, continuing to have that about 20 CS advantage. Canna's back to about 5 in the lead over Sword, but I believe that minion wave is heading towards the gangplank, and oh so easily, Griffin will take down Shelly. Checking out the gold here. Oh man, Viper is so far ahead of Teddy. It's night and day between them and the last.
Yeah, Viper was like, I want to make Teddy feel like what it was like for me in the last game. It's now a nice little roam up to the top side by 5 members of Griffin.
Yeah, exactly. Cannon Barrage is going to come in here as Griffin. Don't want to botch this one. Trouble Bubble goes wide. Teddy avoids that as Cannon Barrage does eat so much time here, and Griffin don't get any kills on the dive whatsoever. They get Teddy's flash and Teddy's heal. That is all they're going to be gifted for that 5-man dive attempt.
A little bit messy on that one. Not really able to put 2 and 2 together on the dive, and Cuz is doing a really nice job of, might have a little play here on the Cal.
Yeah, a lot of extra damage there for Faker, but not a lot of mana remaining. Has a couple of charges on
They're
his
back.
motion. Yeah, Iroh just going to walk up to Teddy now, and he's going to get pulled back. His call comes in. Teddy taken down very early. Good double knockup. Looks like they're just trying to get out there. As Faker was spotted, I believe, and doesn't have vision on the low health Iroh. Canna moving on in towards the top side as well, as it looks like Griffin are not done. They will back away after spotting Faker to clear out the control ward. Once again, Teddy has been put into the ground.
Yeah, this is a really nice targeted strategy where you just dive turret after turret, essentially trying to make one person use, and it's working out really well. Teddy finally buying a BF sword in this game, but 40 CS at 11 minutes into the game is not something that you normally see outside of Iron League. But yeah, I suppose it can also happen in Pro League if you are able to put someone this far into the dumpster.
Yep. I think Teddy's going to be looking for this mid game to try and actually find some minion waves over here. Bottom lane, you can see, was just vacated by everyone. And the first time they went and grabbed his flash, and now doesn't have it available for any sort of dive. So didn't even need to use the Death Realm or anything like that. So we go back to live. Ted's in the mid lane this time, just trying to get towards any sort of farm advantage.
Yeah.
And they can now funnel a lot of the side lane gold into Teddy, but the fact that they have to do that is the real worry, as Teddy had less gold than Iroh, and that's a real bad news story.
Yeah, he might find some safety here in the mid lane. I don't feel like it's too bad of an idea, but there are a lot of Gopas down in the bottom lane now, so they might actually rotate on down. It's going to be either Ocean or Mountain. Mountain. That will be the soul in this game.
Thankfully, Cloud Drake not going to be one of those options, as Faker's going to get bubbled up yet again. There's the paddle star, bit of damage, but I was not able to get in there in time. Faker will display this minion wave as it does head forward. Griffin have all congregated towards this river, but no Drake for another 40 seconds. Now Canna gets out of the way of the... Oh, no. That thrust does proc. But it's all just a cunning ruse. They're going to go back to farm.
Plates are still up its game. It feels like so much has happened that I almost assumed that they should have been down by now. But a lot of that gold is going to go into Viper, who's also 2-0.
Yeah.
It's now his turn to be the big-time 80 carry. Emphasis on the carry here in this game, as T1 really struggling against this offensive style out of Griffin.
Yep, Faker walking over a ward here. Pops on back as there's the time, and the Trouble Bubble goes wide. That's going to save his life for the moment. Faker fighting against Sword now, but doesn't have a lot of mana because, of course, he's had so many of these blue buffs denied. Cannon towards the top side. He's going to be able to get some turret plates before they fall down, and deny a lot of these creeps away from the Sword as well. So he's got himself a decent lead. Trinity Force should be done on this back timing as well, as Ocean Drink will be our soul this game. So all the flowers are going to bloom. Very beautiful Rift nowadays.
And I feel like this is really nice for the side of Griffin. If they can get Ocean Soul in a couple, I think it might just be lights up for this game. It's going to be incredibly hard for T1 to try to burst them through the Ocean Soul plus the lead that they already have. So T1, they've been very avoidant up until now. They don't really want to take any fights. They're just defending, trying to get Teddy some farm. As you can see, he's even taking the Raptors here as they try to get him back on par, or at least back into the game.
Yeah, he's at least keeping it within that 50 CS gap that happened at the very beginning of the game. So he's now at least on some sort of farming trajectory. But outer turret dead on the bottom side. Inner turret very weak as well down there. Still, the gold lead isn't over 2,000 just yet. It's not horrible times for T1. And if T1 get all of these Ocean Drakes, like if they're actually able to find some sort of switchback on the toe, then it's still fine news for them. And they're going to really love having an Ocean Drake themselves. We'll have to see. Sword misses a cannon creep, triggers everyone.
He just really needed to kill the barrel.
Yeah, you gotta kill the barrel.
Like, the barrel is #1 priority. Actually, that cannon.
10 gold is way better than
doesn't really matter. Cannon Faker on top so far in terms of XP.
Yeah, Teddy catching up to Cuz right now, but he's 2 levels behind by them. It is really awful. And now every minion that he misses is going to be super triggering.
Yeah. You can't really miss anything in this position.
Yeah.
There's just so much pressure on you to try to catch up that every minute really counts. Considering a dive on a Mordekaiser, it's generally not a great idea.
Yep, Sword gonna try and flash out of the way of him. That cannon barrage is in absolutely the wrong position. Faker looking to dive on in. Won't get there. Kind of just uses it to clear out the minion wave by the looks of things, as T1 will be able to answer the outer turret falling on the bottom side. I really hope that Teddy is here for when this turret falls down, because he would really like the local gold, and he does get it there, as you can see. Essence Reaver finally complete. He's not too far behind as far as items, but that is all going to change as he's 60 CS in the hole. And yeah, Vibe does complete the Zeal, has himself his stop ready to go as well. And yeah, this is real rough.
I guess a lot of the onus here is going to be on Faker to try to be aggressive onto the squishy champions.
Oh my goodness, Faker taking so much damage from that paddle star that I thought Effort was actually going to be able to get in front of.
It looks like he was trying to block it, but he was right on top of Faker, which again doesn't block it because it has a little AoE radius.
Yep. Now Griffin setting themselves up for the siege. Coming in to try and deny. But Faker's the Bastion, does get the dazzle over the minions. They are able to take that one down. Another paddle star landing on Faker, who's now going to go back home. And this turret is going to survive for the moment, but not with very much to speak of.
It feels like slowly but surely that large gold lead, it looked really large at 4 minutes, but it's been around the same for that amount of time. Yeah, and the scaling of Gangplank is going to be quite impressive, so I feel like a lot of the money for T1 will be on that, onto, you know, the gang scaling, plus potentially Faker looking for, so you can see total gold here.
Almost 3,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, he's the biggest, of course, but then number 2 is the gang.
Yeah, his Cull certainly has procced by now. And he's building towards his Essence Reaver most likely, then to the Infinity Edge, and then he will have a hell of a lot of damage available to him. I think 30% CDR will be done now for Canna. We cycle on over, yeah, as his Core Fits Warhammer. And yeah, this Gangplank is going to need to hard carry alongside Faker.
T1 trying to set up for the Ocean's Drake. That does come in here. It's not Ocean Soul Points yet, but they'd like to get those Ocean Drakes started.
Well, teleport available, Sword. 5 seconds until that Drake does respawn.
Love Faker's positioning.
Yukel gonna jump on in, but in and out of position. Little moment there as, yeah, Faker waiting in the back of the pit, utilizing these extra shits that are going to come through. Has dashed his way out and can distort his way back in.
So he gets back over there.
Yeah. Well, trouble bubble not going to land onto Faker, who makes his way back to the pit as well. In goes Iru, gets the death charge. This now Sword. Someone into the death run. I believe it was Cuz. Is now the bullet time doing a whole bunch of work. Cannon barrage right in there. Is now Sword going to come out of the death realm and might be going to the death chamber as Zoe explodes in the back line. Faker nails it, gets over the wall with a distortion. there as well, as T1 still managing to get this one. 1,000 kills for Teddy just before he falls down. And Viper goes gold, and he's trying to get this one, but Cow gets the auto attacks, double kill in the end, and T1, against all odds, win the team fight.
Unbelievable how they were somehow able to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Teddy picks up 1,000 kills. Congratulations to him. As you can see, the amount of kills he's picked up on both teams, an incredible amount of kills last year, actually 473
yeah, that's
in 2019.
That was 2 years on Jin Air, and he hits about the same amount in
Exactly.
1 year on T1.
If you take a look at this fight, T1 are using rushes so well. It's really beautiful to see them use the Rift kind of probably as Riot intended, you know,
Yeah.
trying to change your play to that. The Fate's Call does nothing. Sword, he gets isolated by T1, and then Faker gets in the backline and makes Zoe into dust. Just totally useless. Viper was also zoned out for the entirety of that play. And as we mentioned, Cuz is incredibly, or not Cuz, Kana is incredibly strong on the gangplank. He stays alive for a ridiculous amount of time and is able to get just so much sustained damage onto that front line, and it was just barely enough to get T1 over the line. Just a really beautiful team fight there out of T1. You can really feel that they are the better team, just on paper and in some of these team fights. As once again, congratulations to Teddy. Now he's 10 away from getting into the 9th place spot, so that might be his next goal.
Yeah. See whether he can eclipse Ambition, who is another one of our retired players. So did fantastic this for League of Legends in 2018. And the Rise video definitely shows us that one. Is T1 looking at turret? You got to get stunned up. Good night, Sweet Prince. Another assist should be going over to the gangplank right here as Teddy gets his 1,001th kill.
He got doubled up there. That bounced off of one of the allies. I think they were trying to not have that happen, but
1,000
totally
first kill, sorry.
Yeah.
1,001.
One?
What is wrong with
Yeah,
me?
close. Very, very close, man.
Thank you.
But now the entire game is totally flipped on its head. Yes, Griffin were able to get the Ocean Drake, and they are on soul points now, but next team fight is going to...
He has a bounty.
It's going to look totally different. I mean, Teddy was able to do so much in that fight with so little, and now Faker and Kana are even more strong than they were compared to that one. As you can see here, now Kana has the most gold in the game after picking up the double kill, and
he's a really big boy.
yeah, that's
40% CDR on this gangplank as well.
Big pirate.
Essence Reaver completed, as you can see right there. All of T1 sitting on control wards. As Faker will find sword and locks him there with the chain. Comfortably steals away the blue buff, I believe, as well. And yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I believe lag is still there. Let's have a look at this replay. Mikal, not a lot that he can do.
Yeah, he just gets run at here, and he shouldn't even be under the turret when you are up against a team that is able to close onto you that fast with the Shurelias on the Taric. Was the first pickup. That's why they were able to close that distance.
Fabulous and fast. His sword has to flash to get out of the way of Faker. I don't think it's going to be enough. The Ignite comes in. Obliterate is named incorrectly there. There's the Cannon Barrage. It'll lock
We're
it down.
going to the ship.
Yeah, sword not invited. Sorry. Not
Yeah.
going to come to the ship. That is Cannon evicting you from the ship.
Yeah.
Using the ship in order to do so.
Once again, I ask you for your ship to finish off the enemy players. And that was really just like an alley-oop, a snipe from downtown. And just like that, the entire feeling of the game is totally flipped on its head. I mean, this is... We were at a point where we thought we were going to a game 3. Teddy had like 0 CS so early on.
Make a flash, actually, as you can see there.
Depth charge.
Nimbus Cloak movement speed. Help him out there as he dashes over this wall. Eats some honey fruit. Faker's going to be absolutely fine as 4 seconds until Ocean Soul is available for Griffin.
And that could change things here for Griffin.
Well, Tarzan is going to get obliterated. Faker grabs it with the distortion. Now Iroh trying to run away. Gargoyle Stoneplate keeping him alive for a while. Now Ebbet gets himself Radiance, and oh no, Iroh didn't want to jump back in there as the bullet time tears him apart. Now Sword puts Teddy in the death realm, but I don't know who necessarily wins this fight. Sword does, by the looks of things. Death Grasp grabs the double kill for the Mordekaiser. Is now Canna. He's going to finish that one off. Griffin do find themselves with a bit of a battle against Faker that Faker does have to run away from. Now with the Drake still alive, it might be an opportunity for Viper and Yuka to lock this one down.
Especially with the Kalista.
Yeah, Cuz is still here. And Faker is looking to dive in on top as well. So it looks like Griffin do not want to go for this.
It's so juicy, though.
Yeah.
You can tell. They're like, oh, should we do it? Should we try to sneak it? Is there any way?
Well, teleport going to come in. That brings Canna back towards this fight. You can see Viper and Tarzan are still here. Blast Cone going to be available. They're not going to use it just yet.
Such an
it's going to be a
important
50-50. There's no Death Realm. Cuz needs to be able to lock this one down. He gets it. And now he has to run away. The teleport to come forward is the Gangplank. Doing so much work with that cannon barrage. But Viper still chasing after F. The Ren damage is very high. Faker as well trying to get in there. Bubble lands onto the LeBlanc, and it is going to be the Pierce that locks down the kill. But importantly for T1, they stay 3,000 gold in the lead, and they deny that Ocean Soul.
Yeah, this is turning into a really fun game as T1 going all out trying to engage in here. It looked extremely one-sided. They burst Tarzan down like he doesn't exist. It's like, okay, 5-on-4. But then they chase so far into Kalista, into the Mordekaiser. They're able to turn it around here. Sword through exhaust is able to get Teddy in the Death Realm and shut down. It's actually, for all of Sword's troubles, this was a really important fight for him to turn up and say, hey, I'm going to try to keep my team in this. And he was, because of that play, he was able to get it to a 50-50 smite. As T1 felt forced to start this one up, just because if they left it at all, the Ocean Soul could potentially go the way of Griffin. The smite was on point. Plank does a ridiculous amount of damage, as we can see, and he's only going to be doing it more and more.
Not really able to do anything in this particular portion of the fight, though, as you can see. Carroll did chunk Viper there, but not for any meaningful amount of damage.
Kind of 5-0-6.
He's huge.
He's so massive. Look at his items. He nearly has Infinity Edge.
And at that point, I know everyone knows that I love talking about Power Spice. That's a big one.
Yeah,
Valdez.
that's, well.
That's huge barrel crit damage availability. And on top of the 40% CR that he already has, that's a really scary moment. Now Faker's going to put Sword on a leash. And now Faker's in the Death Realm. Let's see who's going to win this 1v1 as he's just distorting to run around Sword. Yep, he's going to escape. Quick Distortion's going to get him out there. And now Death Realm is on cooldown. Very important to have that available for Baron fight. You can see Sword will have it up relatively quickly for all of the CDR that he has already built up. So now T1 moving over to a Baron, and they do have a little window of time where Cuz is not going to be put into that Death Realm. Doesn't have anything like a QSS built up just yet, and I think if they want to for these Baron fights, especially if it's going to be a 50-50, which they've been electing to go into, then QSS will be important for the Trundle. But Teddy has now, he's got the Infinity Edge done, still a big lead, but Viper, he's got like 1.5 items over Teddy right now. Teddy's still able to find some CS around this map.
Yeah, he's at least become a person in the game.
Yeah, he is a champion. He's a champion now.
Yeah, he's not just totally zoned out for the entirety of the game at least, and so
he might be going to the ship. Is he invited to the ship now?
She's, you know, Miss Fortune is really good friends with me, so
yeah,
probably invited to the ship.
Faker is in the Death Realm, but he's just making Sword look a little bit foolish. Yeah, Mord, no ulti. I'm safe. I'm safe in here, is what he said.
Thanks, Sword. You kept me safe.
Dear.
And now it's time for a little bit of a brush camp out of Griffin. It doesn't work out.
Faker bounces back. No trouble bubble.
Yeah, he's gotten to that point where now his burst is pretty scary. And getting up right before the Ocean Soul point would be quite nice. You see both teams already setting up for it, and it's a minute and 10 seconds ahead of time. So you can just see just how important this Drake is for both teams. T1 have to deny it, because if Griffin get the Ocean Soul, Kalista with an Ocean Soul is incredibly scary.
Well, Anna's also incredibly scary as he gets Death Grasp. But yeah, 1,000 crits on these barrels now as the Infinity Edge has been completed. This is, yeah,
that's a scary gameplay.
Real scary. Now, Cuz just look for it. On to Iroh. Sword is going to put effort, I believe, into the Death Realm, but he gets himself to the, his Cosmic Radiance and should survive. Iroh trying to flash off effort, but he's running. He's out of there. Death Charge used. Just one lonely support. Is now T1 trying to flash in over the top. Death Grasp not going to find any joy. And yeah, Viper off the wrong side of this fight. The make it rank comes down, but the can barrage didn't actually find as much as T1 wanted it to. But it's a 1-for-1 when the dust settles. Support for top lane, though, means that T1 are in a very happy place, and with no Death Realm available, they should be able to grab this Drake for themselves.
No Cosmic Radiance. I wonder if Griffin would even consider coming in here. They do have GA on Viper. And they are slowly moving in, posturing around this. Patience going to be reset.
Yep. Okay, they don't want a 50-50 this one, but T1 are just going to zone them away. They lock down a second Ocean Drake, and Griffin move back towards this mid lane. This is still a close game, but T1 very close to that 4,000 gold that they've retained for a very long time, and the scaling advantage that we spoke about earlier is still going to be there for this T1 squad.
Yeah. It does feel like a game of Viper versus Kana in this one. It's interesting to see the rookie from T1 being put on so much pressure in the carry position, kind of in the driver's seat, essentially. It's him, Faker, of course, Faker with Medjani's Soul Stealer picked up
stacks right now
He's got 8 stacks, 3-1 and 7, and he's been incredibly slippery this entire game, so I don't blame him for picking up that item.
Yep, I like it. He's also been denied a lot of farms. We have a look at his team fight once again. Look at effort. You're like, just on the sunglasses, and he's just running for the hills. He's out of there.
It's so funny how fast he runs over.
Yeah. Look at it.
He does die in the end. It is Olaf, of course. But Viper zoned out for the majority of the fight. He sees killing minions in the lane, and everybody kind of got zoned over to the left side. But as mentioned, Cannon Barrage didn't do enough. They're not able to get any more kills. But the follow-up there where they zoned them out of the Ocean Drake was very important. And as you mentioned, this game is not over yet. I mean, Viper could absolutely still carry from here. They have a great Baron take team just with a super fed Kalista to kind of get
denial.
the
The denial of Kaz is also really good with Death Realm availability.
Absolutely. And so if they get the Ocean Soul, that's absolutely worth, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 gold.
Oh, yeah.
And so that gold lead isn't going to mean much.
Well, the Dazzle's there. Bullet time comes, but Fate's Call is going to keep Irove safe. Teleport in, though. Sword. Oh, it's a bit of a disaster here. Cosmic Radiance going to keep effort alive, and now Teddy has that one as well, as when that Death Realm ends up, Sword is going to be in trouble, and he is going to be taken down. Faker grabs that kill. Irove quickly finished off afterwards, and this should be that game-winning point for T1, as they're not even looking at the Baron, they're looking to push. Bubble picked up by Faker, but Cuz is body blocking from the Paddle Stars. And 5 versus 3, they go for the re-engage. Yukal getting chunked. That's a portal jump. You don't really want to be utilizing that one. He survives for the moment. He's going to fall down, but the Ragnarok is not enough. The GA not going to be enough either, as Viper is pounded in that last fight. And then just a Mimic Distortion, and Faker will pick up the ace double kill as he takes that one down. And now the game should be over as well. But backdoor bonus is going to keep this turret alive for quite some time.
And I think the death timers, I don't know if they're going to be long enough here. They're gonna go for it. We got 25 seconds, and yeah, I think it should be enough. We are pretty late on in the game.
Yeah, it should be lights out. Sword is going to be here as well as Iroh. We do have Death Realm available once again, as our Sword going to dive on in. We'll see who he actually puts in there. I guess it doesn't really matter, because he couldn't even press the button, because he was dead too fast. Iroh going to go down as an afterthought. His effort was tanking up the turrets the entire time, and that is a very swift 2-0 for T1. Looked dicey in the beginning, but the recovery was strong out of T1.
Yeah, and I said to look behind because I want to see how the Griffin players were going to react. That was probably the most tilting loss of 2020 that I have seen. And man, was that a tilter. If you're a Griffin player or a fan, you're feeling like you just outsmarted, outplayed T1. You're so far ahead, it feels. And